This is D, and let's dress for life. That's what's up. Recently, there was an incredible fire in California. What was the area? Paradise, California. And it wasn't just an incredible fire. You're talking about a conflagration. And by the time it's all over, Lord only knows how many individuals will have been accounted as being killed by this situation. You know, these disasters, these natural disasters are just incredible. Whether you're talking about floods, whether you're talking about tornadoes, whether you're talking about conflagrations, it pays for you, it pays for me to be as ready as possible. Now, let me be very clear. I am not blaming anybody who died on not being prepared for disaster. Things happen. But the thing is, as much as you can, as much as I can, we need to be ready. Be accountable for yourself and for your family for at least the first 72 hours. Why do they say the first 72 hours? Because in an instant, the emergency services will be completely inundated with calls. The emergency services will be completely overwhelmed. So be able to account for yourself, be able to account for your family for at least the first 72 hours. And how can you do this? You can have a 72-hour kit. Let's talk about what you can put in your 72-hour kit. One of the first things that you need to be putting in there is water. You're going to use way more water than you realize. As much as possible, be near a good water source. If you can't be near a good water source, at the very least, have a good water filtration system. As we talk about our hygiene items, you need to make sure that you have your prescriptions. And of course, those do need to be updated. You need to have, you see in my thing, you see my toothbrush is all out, all in the open. Make sure you have your toothbrush covered in some kind of way. Petroleum jelly is great. The reason why petroleum jelly is great is because not only can it help you with your ashiness, but it can also be used to help start fires. And you see what I'm putting my stuff in. It's just a regular gym bag. One of the best things that you can actually do is have a backpack. Why? So you could just toss it over, so you could just toss it on your back if you have to walk somewhere. Now, as for your safety items, my brothers, my sisters, let me say this to you. Make sure that you have a strong flashlight. And the flashlight, please make sure that the battery is charged. Of course, you want to check on it every so many months to make sure that the charge is still holding, or forget that the charge is still holding. Just charge it up every so many months. Another thing you want to have is, well, I'll call it a Duck Dynasty whistle. This whistle is as annoying as all get out. But the beauty of the whistle is that if you're in a situation where you're yelling for people to hear you, help, 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 you're not going to be able to yell but for so long. Now, all of a sudden, there's some people that you see from a distance. You can't get to them because of a ravine or what have you. But you see them. They don't see you and they don't hear you. Why? Because your voice is going out. Make sure that you have that annoying Duck Dynasty whistle. It can go a long ways. Of course, to irritate somebody, but also to get somebody's attention. And I was talking earlier about the petroleum jelly. This thing, I don't know what this thing is called, but whatever, it's like not a fire starter. Yeah, I just call it a fire starter. Basically, this is some type of metal item, and all you have to do is just use a knife to cause sparks, and in order for the sparks to catch the kindling on fire. But you have to have a good knife as well. And a knife, well, you just imagine a knife can be used for all different sorts of things. These are very crucial items for you to have to keep you safe. Another thing, bug repellent. We've talked about how, I mean, just so many things are the worst on record. Hurricanes, floods, now this conflagration in California. But they also talked about the bugs, the mosquitoes in South Carolina, in North Carolina. They're the worst on record as well. Make sure you have some strong bug repellent to keep those mosquitoes at bay. You want to also have ID card and money. You look at some of these situations, there's no electricity. You have an ATM card. It's not going to do you any good if the electricity is not working. You want to have durable shoes. You want to have safety shoes. You want to have shoes that if you walk on a sharp object, you're going to decrease the likelihood of the object going through your shoe and into your foot. As well as when you walk on unsteady ground, you don't want your ankle to give out on you. You don't want to be twisting your ankles or anything, and you become a liability instead of an asset. And also, you may have to be doing some walking. So make sure that if you have some good walking shoes, that you've walked in them long enough to break them in. Socks, of course, pants, shirts, and you want to have thermals. As it relates to shirts, the good thing about shirts is you can have several shirts, and you can layer them up if it's cold weather. And also you can have thermals and hand warmers once again if the weather's cold. And sometimes, well, look, even in New Mexico it gets cold at night, so you don't want to be out there, you don't want to be exposed to the elements and get yourself hemmed up that way. As it relates to food, my brothers and my sisters, what kind of foods can give you sustained energy? Complex carbs. You're talking about whole grains, nuts, veggies. Now, real quick, when I say veggies, maybe you need to get like what you see here, like some baby food, and the reason why you want those is because, I mean, vegetables can do a whole lot to give you the nutrients that your body needs. You don't want to have just a cucumber in your safety kit, that's been in there for 6 months. That's not going to be good. But the thing is, you have the baby food, container. Number one, that doesn't take up a lot of space, but number two, it gives you the nutrients that you need. And number three, there's an expiration date up there. You would want to also decrease your feeling of hunger. Proteins go a long way, and you can get your proteins in your peanut butter and in your nuts. I think that's pretty much all I'm going to say on that. Most certainly our condolences are towards any of the people who've lost their lives, or their loved ones have lost their lives, or they've been injured. But the thing is, make sure that you're doing all that you can to take care of yourself, and you're not just taking care of yourself, but you're spreading this word. You're trying to help somebody else out and other people out. It goes a long ways. Once again, it's like you want to be sharp as far as for yourself. You share, you teach somebody else. That's going to do a lot for them, but it's also going to do a lot for you. But anyway, that's all I have. Stay safe, stay strong. This is D. And less stress for life. That's what's up. Peace.